in the squadron. They called him Bullets, but we call him Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly is on the air
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Shut up, Flippin'. We're on the air. A very strange individual. I wear my sunglasses at night. Man, the 80s was a good time for music. Even this song, which I wasn't a big fan of, that's 80s. This is 80s. You can just wear your sunglasses, though. Nobody cares. You don't have to make such a big deal out of it. Hey, happy Juneteenth. Nobody knows what the hell it is, especially me. No idea. I don't think anybody in the world knows what this day means, other than it's an inexplicable day off, especially in the hood. A hot summer day, time off, lots of beer, lots of weed. And you know what that means, don't you? You know what's going to happen on this Juneteenth? Because it's totally, vague at best. You know what's going to happen, right? This, unfortunately, look, I don't condone, I don't encourage, but it's best to stay home on a vague-ish holiday like Juneteenth. It's a federal holiday, for crying out loud, and nobody has a clue. So the reason why you should stay home or avoid certain areas is this. Cut 2, please. Cut 2.
Juneteenth celebration in Willowbrook, Illinois. 1 dead, 22 injured. At a party in St. Louis, Missouri. 1 dead, 9 injured.
Chaos and panic in the streets of D.C. after gunfire erupted at a packed Juneteenth concert and festival. Police say the unauthorized event was being shut down after a series of fights and issues with the massive crowd.
No, that is straight up gunshots.
And then around 8:30 p.m., a gunman opening fire, killing a teenager police say was 15 years old and injuring 3 others, including a D.C. police officer.
We were better off without this as a holiday. Don't you agree, James Flippin?
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like it was one of those virtue signaling holidays that came out of the George Floyd aftermath.
What is Juneteenth?
It actually dates back to the day in which the final enslaved Americans found out that the Civil War had ended. It was in Galveston, Texas, and there was a U.S. Army contingent that made its way there and essentially freed the final remaining chattel slaves of America.
I don't think that's true.
No?
No.
Well, that's at least what the official historical record
Well,
says.
no matter what it is, even if it is true, I don't understand it. I don't understand what you just said. I just can't get my...
It's a holiday, I guess, that's celebrating the end of slavery because we don't really have one that's tied to the Civil War.
I still don't get it. And most people don't. Most people are like me, right? And,
Probably true.
And that guy back there.
See, Greg, slavery was bad.
Yeah, thank you,
and
Kevin.
when it ended, people found a reason to celebrate that it ended because it was generally regarded as a negative thing in our society.
A bad thing, yeah.
You think I'm going to stand for this condescension? You think I'm going to stand for this crap?
Can I just
you're
say
you're gonna patronize me and try to tell me that slavery was bad? Ha ha ha! As if I didn't know. Hey, we fought a war over slavery, right? How many people got killed over it in one battle? One battle, Gettysburg. How many people died? None of you dumbasses knows. 50,000, and one of them was my great 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 uncle. How dare you!
in all seriousness?
Kevin just took off his hat, put it over his heart.
I can imagine.
Look,
we really should have a holiday that honors the sacrifice of the Civil War, though.
You know what? Let's honor the sacrifice of the Civil War by sacrificing and working. We get too many freaking holidays.
Well, I'm saying maybe
every
Juneteenth.
time you turn around, there's
can
another
I just add
holiday.
Something that I wrote down. You talked about beer, weed, and time off as if they were bad things.
Oh yeah, that's your way of life. That's what you do. That's James Flippin. That's okay.
I get a lot of time off.
Yeah, how do you like that early shift?
That's news to me. That's news to me.
Listen, I just want to say I'm not alone with this total and complete. I'm not afraid to say I have no comprehension, even though it's been explained to me. Something about Galveston,
I
and something about the Army and a horse.
It really was a Texas holiday for the longest time.
Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. Listen to this. I went out and talked to people about it, and I talked to people. I talked to white people. I talked to black people. I talked to Indian people. I talked to people, and nobody has any idea. Cut one, please. Cut one. Listen to this, Flip, and don't go anywhere.
What is Juneteenth?
What is Juneteenth? You know what Juneteenth is.
I don't know. You got
No idea?
No idea.
Is that is a celebration of I don't want this to be wrong, so I don't want it to be on the news.
It's the celebration of, now don't ask me what state, where they took the state and they actually messed up the homes of all the blacks that lived there. They ruined it, and then now it's celebrated as Juneteenth.
I think basically it's a time for like little kids come together or something like that.
It's my favorite.
I mean, it's a long story. I know really what happened, but it was a Wall Street for the blacks. I think so.
For some reason, it's recognized as a holiday that there was a gap between when the people knew they were freed in, I believe, Texas. And they didn't learn until June 19th. So there was a period of time they're actually freed and didn't know it.
You see that kind of.
I think you might be right, but I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
All right.
But to me, it's a bizarre holiday because it's basically celebrating not knowing you're free.
And by the way, on Juneteenth, a New York City cop just got shot in the leg. I don't think that would have happened if it wasn't Juneteenth. I'm telling you, the beer and the weed and the time off, it's a toxic mixture, a toxic cocktail. Kaboom! Every year on Juneteenth. What? Why do you keep looking at me?
I don't know. I don't know I'm not really sure what you want me to say.
Well, you should agree with me, number one. If you don't want to agree, say you disagree. But
Okay.
I mean, just stop looking at me. It's making me uncomfortable, to be honest. You're looking at me like a weirdo.
I think that you could pick any number of holidays that involve beer and time off and nice weather, and it doesn't necessarily equivocate with bad things happening.
Oh, yeah? Like this?
At a Juneteenth celebration in Willowbrook, Illinois, one dead, 22 injured at a party.
This didn't happen on Christmas.
It happens on July 4th.
9 injured.
Chaos and panic in the streets of D.C. after gunfire erupted at a packed Juneteenth concert and festival.
It doesn't happen on July 4th.
Yes, it does.
Police
No, it
say
doesn't.
the unauthorized
Check the
event was
Chicago
being
police
shut
blotter
down
on
after a
July 4th.
series
Well, it
of
happens every
fights
day
and
in
issues
Chicago.
with the massive crowd.
This is all because of Juneteenth.
No, that is straight up gunshots.
Straight up
And then
gunshots.
Around 8:30 p.m., a gunman opening fire, killing a teenager police say was 15 years old and injuring 3 others, including a D.C. police officer.
Hey, how about this one? This is speaking of gunshots. I love this guy who took the video of the gunshots. They're people fighting in Times Square, just fighting in celebration of the Knicks for some reason, and they're fighting and they're punching.
It was connected to the Knicks?
Oh, totally. There were all these Knicks lunatic fans, and listen to this: they're fighting and pushing and shoving, and then all of a sudden somebody starts firing a gun. But listen to the guy who's taking the video. He's very cool. Cut 10, please. Cut 10.
Why Times Square is f***ed up. Look, niggas in the street fighting. See, you heard that, right? You heard that. Shooting, all kinds of going on.
He's so cool. Everybody starts running, and they're running right by him. But he says, man, look at this. It's all bad. All these people fighting. Bang, bang, bang. And listen to that. Shots. He doesn't move. He doesn't blink. He just narrates. He'd be a great combat correspondent. Because generally speaking, people just lose it and run.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that maybe you didn't even see this, that there was a guy who got slashed at the parade yesterday.
Goodness gracious. And why is this all covered up? Why do I see the police commissioner and the mayor just enjoying the festivities of Knicks fandom?
Yeah, it was outside of the actual parade route, but this guy, I guess, supposedly said something to a woman that was a rude comment, and then her boyfriend slashed the guy's face with a broken beer bottle.
What was the comment? Do we know?
We do not know. I do not.
Well, it's this is New York, and that silly police commissioner can't run the police department. Can't run it. Has no clue. But boy, oh boy, does she seem very solemn at press events as she stands next to Mamdani. Ooh, that's a very solemn person. Wow, she's doing a great job. The New York Times. Wow, the New York Times. It's the first woman. It's the first woman.
What? Second.
You're second woman. First white woman.
Correct.
First Jewish American.
Also true. Is that true?
She's Jewish.
Is she the first?
Yeah. It's been all Irish and black. All Irish and black before she showed up. And it's too bad that she's rotten at the job. And you saw those cops taking over the police car. Did you hear? Here, listen to this. This is just crazy. You can kind of get a sense of what the hell's going on. Cut 5, please. Cut 5. Beating up a police car. Man, I wish I were a cop just once. I'd go in there with my bat and my hat, break it up. I
don't think they carry those bats anymore.
Well, they should. They should supersize them as well. No, it's really terrible that this thing, and again, this guy is just chillax. He's all chillax. Cut 11, the mayor with just the city is going to hell, and this guy gets away with it because he has a cute smile and he wears a Knicks shirt. Cut 11.
Last night, it was what you dream of when you think about this city. It was cinematic. The city that never sleeps didn't. I know I did not. Did you get any sleep?
There he is.
I went to sleep at 3:45 a.m. and like most New Yorkers, woke up asking myself, did that really happen? People have been waiting for this for 53 years. And there have been so many heartbreaks, so many near misses, so many years, every year where we've told ourselves it's the year. And for it to actually happen now, I mean, there's nothing more we can ask for as New Yorkers.
Nothing more. How about peace and quiet? Just a little peace and quiet. How's that? I ask for that.
Okay.
Or law and order.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, by the way, the guy who's asking the questions, what a twit he is. I do not like him. Jacob Soboroff is his name. You ever see that guy on MSNBC with the big hair and the glasses?
Oh, is that the guy? Yeah.
He's the nerd.
Okay, yes.
He's the nerd.
Yes.
He's the nerd. And listen to what he says at first. Like, you could talk to a million Knicks fans, and nobody would say cinematic. This guy says he must be a Cenophile. Cut 11 and one more time.
Last night, it was what you dream of when you think about this city. It was cinematic.
What a pussy.
Yeah, they had him.
I'm sorry.
They had him out at the Obama Presidential Library yesterday talking to people in the crowd.
That and Tom Hanks dunked on him. Tom Hanks dunked on him. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, Tom Hanks made fun of MSNBC. Yes, he did. Let's see if there's anything else. The highlights from my video here. Oh, how about the guy who passed out on drugs? We have that. Hey, the Iran deal. I think people are realizing that it's a pretty good deal. And if they don't, well, just listen to J.D. Vance. He'll straighten you out. Straighten him out, J.D., the Vice President of the United States. Cut 14.
This idea that the Iranians get all these benefits before the deal is actually consummated, the idea that they get benefits before they change their behavior is fundamentally a talking point that is issued by people who want the conflict to continue indefinitely, despite the fact that that's not good for the American people and it's not good for the region.
Yeah. And we love Israel, but Bibi's getting on our nerves a little bit. Cut 15.
The other thing that I would say is that over the last 3 months, 2/3 of the defensive weapons that have protected your homeland have been built by American hands and paid for by American tax dollars. The problem for Israel is not Donald J. Trump. And anybody in Israel who thinks their biggest problem is the President of the United States needs to wake up and smell the reality of the situation that country is in.
Nice.
That guy kicks ass.
Yep, he does.
Who is this? Corey Haim or Corey somebody? What's his name?
Corey Hart.
Whatever happened to him? Is that the guy who made the documentary about being molested in Hollywood?
That's the first Corey you said.
Yeah, Corey.
There were a couple of Coreys that were big back in the day. Is this guy still making music? Get back to me on that. All right, it's Friday, Juneteenth. If you have any idea what the hell this day means, congratulations. You're probably the only one. Be right back.
Greg Kelly.
Let's go, Brandon.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Greg Kelly.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's just a terrible situation in Central Park. I think I've had it with those horses. It's time for those horses to be retired. I used to be a big, keep the horses, but we keep having situations. The other one dropped dead, middle-aged. I don't think that was supposed to happen. And now a guy, 18 years old from India with his family. This is the worst thing in the world. How could this happen? They come all the way here from India, and they want to go to Central Park. They went to the Statue of Liberty. They walked across the Brooklyn Bridge. They do all these New York tourist things. And then they want to do a carriage ride in New York, and they're having a great time. And they ask the carriage guy to take a picture of them, and he takes their camera and walks around, takes a picture, and I don't know. And I don't know if you're supposed to do that. Obviously, you're not supposed to do that because the horse just went nuts, and the driver wasn't in a position to stop him because he was too busy taking a picture. And did you see this? And the horse takes off like at 100 miles per hour, and the damn basket, whatever they call that thing, carriage, starts flipping around, and the people fall out, and this kid gets killed. Tourist killed. And I've seen the video. It's horrific. Ramesh Mahajan, 18 years old, from India. He was taking in Big Apple sites when they booked an iconic horse and buggy ride, and the spooked beast took off in a deadly caught-on-video mishap. New York Post. I don't know if these things iconic? Are they iconic? And I find them to be ripoffs, right? I mean, they're always coming up to you. Do you want a ride? Whether it's there's just something a little. I know that those people probably love the horses, but this is just, it's time to go. It's time to cancel this thing. I don't like it anymore. Look at that guy. He's 18 years old. We were yelling, help me, help me. The teen's father, Deepak Mahajan, told the New York Times his wife, Priya, fell from the carriage and Ramesh jumped down to try to help her. The grieving dad told the outlet. My son, just to save his mother, he fell off. He was screaming, Mom. Mahajan fell on the ground and struck his head. He was rushed to New York Presbyterian, where he was later pronounced dead. Mahajan died of blunt force trauma, and his death was ruled accidental. The carriage driver had gotten out to take a picture of the family when the horse bolted, tearing up the sidewalk and accelerating on the grass. Dramatic footage shows the driver desperately chasing after the runaway carriage before the teen is thrown to the ground, and the buggy crashes into the ground. Oh, man. And this is it. We got the picture, the very last picture of these people, of this kid alive. What a fine, happy family. It appears the driver was at least at arm's length from his horse. This is unacceptable. Alexander Kemp, a vice president at Transport Workers Union Local 100, said, a driver is not supposed to leave the carriage to take photos, ever. We support a full investigation. The union said the driver has been suspended and the 7-year-old horse, Samson, was retired from service. I think we got to retire all those guys from service. All the horses are hereby fired. Send them out to a farm. Let them, graze or something like that. This is not suitable anymore. When reached at his Queens home, oh, gosh. I feel for the driver a bit, too. I guess he broke the rules. You're not supposed to do that. They called him at his house. Ertan is his name. And he didn't want to say anything, but a shop steward from the union who was with him spoke on his behalf, saying he's absolutely devastated. He's been driving a carriage for 20 years. Nothing like this has ever happened to him. Nothing like this has ever happened to the industry, so it's just awful. He was also worried that opponents of carriage horses will come after him. He's worried about his family. These people that we're dealing with are not normal people. Yeah, some of these animal people are not normal people. You know what I mean? Who have been making noise about this for a long time. But now I think it's time for these things to. It's time. It's time. You gotta stop this. Don't you agree? Let's see here. Riders' Law, a bill to phase out horse carriages, was reintroduced to the city council just last week. The law is named after a carriage horse named Ryder who collapsed while working on a hot August day in 2022. I remember that when that guy went down, when that horse went down. That was terrible, too. The city council's health panel refused to advance Ryder's Law out of committee in November, despite support from equine activists. Equine, that's a fancy word for horse stuff. Hours before he left office, Mayor Adams signed an executive order mandating that the fleet of horse carriage drivers undergo regular veterinary inspections and be tested for drugs and injuries. The move came weeks after the city-hired vet attempted to conduct independent testing on a sampling of a dozen carriage horses across 3 stables, but they thwarted him. Let's see here. What does Mamdani think about this? He has expressed earlier support for a plan to ban the Central Park carriages. This has been a thing, though, that I think de Blasio even tried it, and it was turned down. Manhattan. And by the way, there are a bunch of Irish guys, and I love these drivers. I've met some of them. And maybe this is too knee-jerk, and maybe I'm acting emotionally, so maybe we can, but that's my gut instinct. No more. How can that? I really must say, the family, it reminds me of that incredible family from Spain who went into the helicopter that crashed last year into the Hudson River. Remember that? Those beautiful people from Spain. Oh, they were so excited to be going on a helicopter. That kid, I could tell. I've been in the exact same position. I know what it feels like. Oh, wow, we're going on an aircraft ride around Manhattan. Little kid, he must have been 7 years old, and then the older, it's just heartbreaking. The worst thing in the world happened. They're still flying those crazy tourist helicopters. Still have these wild animals in the park. It doesn't seem right. Now, I also want to say this, though. It's a very strange thing for this driver, this horse driver, to be in this position. He is living a nightmare right now. He is in an absolute nightmare. Nobody conceives of this. This is the furthest thing. He's a horse and carriage driver. He's not supposed to have a death on his hands. What could go wrong? And they're he's taking pictures of him outside of his house and that kind of thing. This is the unthinkable has happened to him. The unthinkable. And it's tough. It happens to more people than you might think. People who have responsibility, police officers, pilots, and then regular people who get into. I remember a woman got into a horrible car accident. She hit the gas when she wanted to hit the brake and ran over 8 people. What do you do with that? How do you carry that around with you? Very, very difficult. Incredibly difficult. I feel all right, I want to move on. Oh, I want to remind everybody. So people are oohing and eyeing over the new, very creepy Obama Center. Very creepy. How can you build a building with no windows? How can you have a building with no windows unless you're doing something weird in there? I put nothing past Obama. First of all, this pompous guy. Listen, would you ever say anything like this during a speech? Could you imagine talking like this? Who the hell does he think he is? I don't care if he's 2-term ex-president of the United States, Nobel Prize winner. You got to keep it real no matter who you are. And this is not... Just listen to this. Cut 16.
Eye reaches but little ways. I cannot calculate the curve and complete the figure by the experience of sight. I can divine it by conscience. But from what I see, I am sure it bends towards justice.
All right. Nobody knows what the hell he's talking about. Nobody. It's impossible. What would be embarrassing? I'd be embarrassed. He's got those 2 screens right in front of him. It's a teleprompter. So every time he pauses like that, it's fake. That's not how you read. When you're reading something, do you read like that? Do you read like the pauses and the... Give me it again.
Eye reaches but little ways. I cannot calculate the curve and complete the figure by the experience of sight.
The pauses.
I can divine it by conscience.
What?
But from what I see, I am sure it bends towards justice.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that one. What in the hell? And the audience, they were mystified by the whole thing. But then he said something I do understand, and you know what it is? This is what they call, Kevin, a dog whistle. This is a dog whistle to the deep state and to coup plotters everywhere, okay? It'll sound righteous, but it ain't, all right? This is the opposite of righteous. This is encouraging a overthrow of democracy. Let's see here. Where's that next one? Cut 17, please.
A belief that our military and law enforcement owe allegiance not to any president or political party, but to the people and our Constitution.
Yay, of course. Of course. That sounds wonderful. Nobody ever stops and thinks, hey, wait a second. What does it actually say? What is it actually? It sounds nice. It ain't nice. The military directly reports to the President of the United States. And when they push this thing as if they were the Constitution, when they take that oath for the Constitution, that's a photo op. The paperwork that you sign says you will obey the orders of the President of the United States. Me, President Donald J. Trump. And then it explicitly says, and the presidents who come after me. You can't have 2 million military guys running around trying to interpret the Constitution. I don't think I can do that. The Constitution says that. No. Leave that to Brett Kavanaugh and those guys. They'll figure it out. You go take that hill. I think it's against my moral. Shut up and take that hill. Well, you're just a major. Well, guess what? I got one of these things too, a certificate from the president. And it says that you have to obey the orders of the officers above you, and that's me. So, gosh damn it, Lieutenant, you take that freaking hill or you die trying. That's the way the military actually works. You can't have Lieutenant Jones waving around the Constitution. I don't think this is right. Shut the freaking hell up. We didn't ask for your opinion. We asked for your ability to shoot. Or your ability to launch a grenade, your ability to land a jet. I don't care what your opinion is of the Constitution. Mark Kelly, Scott Kelly, whatever your name is. That your brother? I always get these guys confused. The astronaut twins, right? One went to space for a year and came back not normal, and the other one is in the Senate and got there and became not normal. Who the hell is Sage Riviera? You see that guy on, you know what that looks like? A human version of Ernie. You know Bert and Ernie? Doesn't that look, if Ernie came to life, it would look like that guy right there. Sage Riviera. Something about, oh gosh, Bronx Pride. I almost forgot. Yeah, Pride has been de-emphasized, probably in large part thanks to me. Because I have waged now 3 months in a row a campaign basically against Pride and LGBTQ celebration. I just don't think it should be celebrated. It shouldn't be, but and Pride itself is a bad thing. When did we say that Pride was good? Okay, a couple of other little things here. We'll do it right now. Oh, Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen was at the celebration for the Obama Library. You know, those guys are very into each other. I mean, very into each other. Remember when they did a podcast together? Well, here they are slamming America and Bruce Springsteen fans. Bruce Springsteen thinks his fans are racist. Anybody remember Clarence Clemens? The coolest guy in the world, right? Played the saxophone. He had a solo career, and he worked with Jackson Browne and Daryl Hannah. It was great. Well, listen to what, he's dead now. Listen to what Springsteen and Obama think about Clarence Clemens and Bruce Springsteen fans. Cut 18.
In an ideal world, what Bruce and Clarence portrayed on stage was essentially a reconciliation, right?
Yeah,
and redemption.
that's right.
But most of your audiences were primarily white. And they can love Clarence when he's on stage, but if they ran into him in a bar, suddenly the N-word comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they just call Clarence the N-word. Bruce Springsteen fans would call Clarence. Isn't that something? And also, did you hear what he said? You know, this was a reconciliation, but Bruce, your fans were primarily white. As if that's a bad thing. Primarily white. And what do they do when they meet Clarence? Cut 17?
A belief that our military and law enforcement owe allegiance not to any...
Not to any...
Give me the other one. This is a mini little version of it. Cut 19.
And they can love Clarence when he's on stage, but if they ran into him in a bar, suddenly the N-word comes up.
Yeah.
Isn't that outrageous? Seriously. Kevin, don't you think that's like the worst thing in the world to say? How do you know that, Barack? You cheap race hustler. Here's something else. And you know what? It all comes down to Barack being hung up on his lack of black authenticity. He doesn't think he's black enough. And black people don't think he's black enough. That's why he's got to go all in with Hood. He's got to go all in with grievance. He's got to go all in with BLM. Because he does not have the cred in the black community to say, no, this is, guys, we got to pull up our pants. He can't do Bill Cosby. Quite frankly, even Bill Cosby couldn't do Bill Cosby, right? Remember when Bill Cosby told everybody to pull up their pants in the black community? And then all of a sudden he was guilty of rape? You know he's out of jail now because he wasn't guilty. Listen to this. Cut 20, please. This is Obama on his racial situation in his own book, one of 15 books he wrote about himself where he looks at his navel and thinks about it. Cut 20.
Almost from the start, the race was a disaster. A few weeks in, the rumblings from the Rush camp began. Obama's an outsider. He's backed by white folks. He's a Harvard elitist. And that name, is he even black?
Is he even black? Is he even black? That's Barack trying to get down. I think the children enjoy it when I get down verbally. What a phony. But look at him. I mean, gosh, I'm not opening a presidential library. Are you? I don't have all these entertainers coming for a party. I don't have a $40,000 suit. That guy was wearing about $50,000 worth of clothes yesterday. He is a billionaire, and he truly damaged this country. It's very, very sad. He could have done so much, but he's selfish. Be right back.
Greg Kelly
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
All right, 800-848-9222, 800-848-9222. A lot of tough guys out there trying to take on President Trump about this nuclear deal because, it's they want to out-tough Trump. Most people don't get to order airstrikes, Most people don't get to order around aircraft carriers. Only a president gets to do that. And when you've been doing it as long as President Trump has been doing it, you get very good at it, and you see the world at a higher level that I don't think most people can understand. Those who are second-guessing President Trump, it's like he's playing chess, and we can't see the chessboard. And we only have rumors about where the pieces are. We don't fully know what's going on. However, we know he's a very good chess player. We know that the chair where our opponent chess player sits has been demolished. Ours is totally comfortable. We know that the chess players on their side have been totally rattled with those big bombs going off all the time. But people here talk with such certainty about what this deal means, what it doesn't mean. Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana said, well, what I try to do, I read it once and then I read it twice. And what I'm going to do is sit back and wait, which I think is a very good thing to do. Just, 60 days. There's let them talk it out, delegate it. It's fine with me. Not on the edge of my seat. Let them figure it out. I have faith in Trump. God has not protected him this long to just, blow it now. Right? He's here for a reason. And this is one of those reasons. After all those years, all those fits and starts about Iran, we're finally bringing it home for a landing. How many arrests were made for those Knicks fans who got out of control? Nothing? Pretty much nothing. A handful. This, that. There were not... how many people did they say were at that parade? I heard 2 million. 2 or 3 million? There's no way there were 2 or 3 million people there. There were about 100,000, 150,000 tops. Tops. I don't know why they would put a number out there unless they were trying to exaggerate the performance of the police and also give the police excuses for those horrific images of their cars being destroyed. people jumping up and down on them and yelling and screaming and whipping police cars with a belt. I think that's some sort of kinky fetish. Cut 5, please. Cut 5. Just couldn't get that enthusiastic about anything myself. Anything. It's not worth it. I'm certainly not going to come in and be with. No amount of the money in the world could have sent me to that damn parade, to be honest. Kevin, did you have any interest whatsoever in going to that damn thing?
Zero interest whatsoever.
And you like the Knicks. Why is it that parade would be so unattractive to so many of the people I know? What is it about that, right? You know, who needs the crowds? What is it?
I have a fear of getting crowd crushed. You know what that is?
Getting crushed by a crowd.
Yeah, you saw that happening where people were getting pushed up against the barricade.
Well, how about those two women who were, this is, I guess, an only in New York thing. Two women had a big fight about which there was one traffic pole and both women wanted to climb to the top of it. And one woman punched the other one off. So the other woman gave the woman who was still on the pole a wedgie with their thong underwear, while the woman who was still on the pole was twerking. This is a grotesque scene. However, in the middle of a couple of thousand people, it seemed to delight the fans. I just can't do that. I wouldn't do it. I don't understand it. Don't have to understand it. I think when I see video like this, you know what it makes me want to do? Join a private club. You know what I mean? I want a private club. Members only. And I want a very discriminating members committee. Right?
Like a blazer, too?
Yes, coat and tie and the rest. I want to call me a snob. I don't care. I do not want to be with these people. All right? I don't want to be with people who fight and kick and scream to get to the top of a light pole. 800-8489-222. 800-8489-222. Happy Juneteenth. Be right back.
Thanks for listening to The Greg Kelly Show. You can hear The Greg Kelly Show weekdays at 12:15 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?